Everyone, Siri Emerald here, and this will be an unboxing video of the Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron Hawkeye 12-inch figure by Hot Toys, item number 902379, made in China, MMS 289, right there. So let's get them opened up here. Alright, so on the packaging here we have the image of Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye with the Avengers A, and the A is textured. The rest of the photograph is smooth, and I'm not really certain if that is, yeah, I was going to say I'm not really certain if that's him or if that's the figure. I'm imagining that's him posing there instead of the figure. Yeah, look at that hair. That's definitely him. So the Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron is shiny, and you can feel that as well. The white line is not. It's nice and smooth. All of the A is textured though. Hot Toys Movie Masterpiece Series is smooth inside this textured A. And on the side here we have the fletching on the back of his arrow. That's his little Avengers symbol. And on this side, the artwork continues where it says Hawkeye. It's MMS 289, 1/6 scale collectible figure. On the back here, it's smooth. All that is smooth. And we have information about the figure. Manufactured by, where it's collected at. 1/6 scale collectible figure. And choking hazard and for ages 15 and up. It's not a toy, it's an adult collectible. On the top it says Hawkeye MMS 289 1/6 scale collectible figure. On the bottom it says Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron. And it's a sleeve box. So let's slide this sleeve off here. And here's a little shadow box inside of it, of the figure. This little purple color right there. Now, and this guy comes with a lot of accessories. I remember seeing that. Now, one thing I would say before is that you could actually use these shadow boxes as display cases should you feel so inclined. You can literally display your figure inside of that. Set that right there. And so here we have Hawkeye. A little, please read instructions sheet first and follow all construction details during the assemble process. And we just have just the two pieces here. Let's go ahead and take this cover off. And we've got different hands here. He's got his little sunglasses that he wore all the time, pretty much all the time. And let's get him out of here. That's pretty good likeness, I say. Let's see, what's this? Does his boot come off? No. I believe his boot comes off. Yeah, let me take it off to get that out there. So pop his little boot clean off there. Shove it back on. Same over here. Pop it back on. It's just as hard getting back on as it was to get off. There we go. push at the knee here, make it pop on. There we are. And let's see. A little zipper there. Take off his hand here so we can get that little bit of plastic off here. Little wrist piece right there. And the same thing over here. So on this little piece, the side that's all one length goes closest to the body, and the side that's cut out goes closest to the hand. So when you have to put these on and off for his hands here. And I'm guessing that Hawkeye's a lefty. He shoots his bow with his left hand. Didn't pay that much attention during the movie. Let's see if this unzips. It does. I don't know if I want to unzip it though. It's got a shirt underneath there with also a zipper on it as well. The colors in this are pretty cool. Some a purplish red. Let's see if we can get this zip back up. There we go. Little netting in the back. Little zipper here. Probably slide down. Yeah, it does. It zips. Let's see. That must be for his bow to attach on the back. Let's get his little stand out here. His little boots. Pretty cool. I say Marvel on that one, and this one says 2015 Hot Toys LC. His pants, they're blue. That's black and purple. And that looks a lot like Jeremy Renner. Looks like his neck and head move independent of each other. They do. Got great movement there. That portion of him. Get him set standing up, so he feels stand up on his own without his stand. The only one I was disappointed on this was the War Machine. I'm not a fan of these in the first place. They work, they do their job, but when they included this with the War Machine, I was really disappointed in that regards. And as a matter of fact, I'm using that stand to hold up my Bruce Banner. He fits on that for the War Machine. I put War Machine on my diorama for my Mark 43, and the Mark 43 on my stand for the Mark 3, and I put the Mark 3 in the 3-position stand. So he's got a really cool bow here, a little recurve bow. I wonder if actually got some. The string is elastic. The bow will bend as well. So I actually do get a little pull there, but you've really got to go quite a distance. That's further than what he would pull it to get it to do that. That's pretty cool. Little snap back into place. Doing. See it vibrating there. So we'll set that right here right now. Let's look at the instructions here. So we have a Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron Hawkeye. Put the sunglasses on the head sculpt as shown. Put on and take off the sunglasses carefully and avoid wearing sunglasses over a long period of time, otherwise it may cause paint fading on the head sculpt. Okay, so it's showing that different tips will fit on different arrows. So we have a short arrow, we have an arrow shaft for the quiver, which I imagine wouldn't have a tip on it, and then we have the long arrow. So now for the short arrows, the only tip that can go onto it is one specific tip, that one only. And for the arrow shaft for quiver, it looks like no tips can go on it. But for the other ones, the small arrow tips and the large arrow tips can all go onto the long arrow. And it says the large arrow tips cannot be placed in the quiver. So I don't know if this is supposed to represent all these for the short. Maybe these can go on there. I don't know. It looks like only these can go on that and only that can go on that. It's hard to say. We'll have to figure that out. And see what do we have here. That's the quiver. So let's place a short arrow in the center of the quiver. And this quiver can be separated. Interesting. And here I put the quiver onto the back of the figure as shown. The little slide right there. And here it's showing long arrows, an arrow shaft for quiver. So it's saying that you would put a long arrow and then the shaft, and long arrow and then a shaft, long arrow and the shaft. I guess that's to make it look more full than what it actually is. And you have a speed loader in the bottom for his tips. Keeps his tips down there. Some parts of the figure contain magnets. Do not place or store near battery, computer, credit card, or other electronic devices. Magnetic field may affect or damage these items. Be careful of the sharp edges on the arrow tips. Alright, that's pretty cool. So let's have a look at what we have. So here's the sunglasses, and unlike Bruce, it looks like they'll just fit right over his ears. I need to look at my Bruce figure. His ears are probably underneath his hair, and that's probably why he can't do that. And so we have some wrist pieces here, and we have additional hands. So we have two relaxed hands there, and let's see what hands these are. This here. Okay. So this one's definitely for holding his bow with his right hand, no doubt about that. And it's giving you the finger. Don't know really what he's doing there. And this is the 3-finger draw. He's drawing his bow with his 3 fingers, and as well as that is. So the difference between those, maybe that's actually the draw where he's about ready to fire, and this may be where he's just positioned ready to pull, but he hasn't pulled it yet. And this one is, I don't know really what that one is for, but there you go. And here's some tips right here. A lot of tips actually. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 there. And then on the top we have another 6. So he definitely has a whole selection of tips here. Okay, that separates. Okay. So there we go. We have these and those. And these are not those, but these are those. So there's all the different tips that he comes with. That's very cool. That's very, very cool indeed. So I'll set those right there. And let's take this piece out here. The long piece here. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Okay, so we can separate that into two pieces. So this is the collapse bow. Oh, look at that. And it actually unfolds to be the unfolded bow. Very cool. Very, very cool indeed. Let's get those facing the right direction. There you go. Or actually, it should go like that. That's how they would be. So the collapse bow will unfold, and you can even string it if you desire. So let's fold this back up. So the collapse bow, pretty cool. And this is the quiver that attaches to his back. So it was saying that it expands. I wonder don't see where it expands at. Ah, that's how it expands. It doesn't expand, it separates. Held together by little magnets and little posts. So you got two magnets there, and you got posts. So it just unpulls apart. And that way you can stack your arrows in there. Arrows on both sides. And look at that. So you have three very long ones there, a whole bunch of shafts here, some speed loader heads there, a bunch of quivers on them, fletching on them. Sheesh. So I'm going to pause this while I play with this for a bit. And you know, I'm not going to pause this so I can play this. I'm going to play this with the camera running. And I want you to experience what I'm going through at the same time. It's got us taped up here. Taped. All right, let's see here. So, speed loader. And attached pretty nicely. Got two of those. And let's see. Let's look at this structure manual again, see what those are for. Doesn't say what those are for. Was this I'd hate to even speculate. I don't even know. Did you do that in the movie where you... Alright. So the instructions say start with the long arrows. And imagine I'm putting the tip on each one too. So we will do that. There's different tips here. Just grab one here. Slide it on. And let's put it on the outside. Okay, so I was trying to figure out how best to assemble this quiver. And I think I am pleased with how it came out. So the instructions are not really that helpful. One of the things they say is that you put a shaft without a arrowhead on it in between shafts with arrowheads on it. And I kind of followed that, I would say, to some degree. So this is what I have. This is the back, the part that actually goes to, attaches to his back, right there. And what I did was, well, you can see there's 5 rows on each side, so it's 10 arrows, shafts on each side here. But I have 4 arrowheads here and 5 arrowheads here. And on this one I have 4 arrowheads here and 4 arrowheads here. Now it says to put the short one on the back. I didn't want to put the short one on the back. I put the long one on the back because I wanted to have as many possible arrowheads on here. Matter of fact, I used all the arrowheads. If you just do this empty shafts, you end up with leftover arrowheads that you can't do anything with. So I decided to shove them all in there. It closes just fine. And it just snaps together like that. Okay. And so there it's all closed up now. And then that just hangs on his back. So that's what it looks like. And I evened up the fletching on there. I just turned it upside down on the table and just kind of tapped it to even them all up. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on his back here. And it just slides. There's a slot right here. It just slides onto it. Like that. Doesn't take much effort to get it on there. And it'll stay on there quite nicely. Now, what I decided to do also was to use the bow with the string. And the string's a little elastic. This folding bow doesn't have a string on it. And as I was showing you earlier, when it's extended, it's pretty much the exact same bow as the one he's holding in his hand now, except you can see the hinges are a little bit larger than they are on the bow he's using. The hinges are still there, they're just not functional. And right there, they're just not functional, and they're smaller because they're not functional, whereas these are functional and they're larger. So I'm just going to store this. I'm not going to use this bow. And I'm also not going to use this quad, well, not really a quad, it's 9 arrow pack that he can shoot. That's something else that you can hold into his hand and have him ready to shoot it, or maybe even put it on the bow. Decided not to do that. What I did do, though, is I taped the arrow onto the bow with a little bit of masking tape. Like I have some black masking tape. and I just taped it right on there. And you can see it here pretty clearly, but it really blends right in. So that right there is what the handle looks like. And you can see it's not really that obtrusive, in my opinion. It really blends in quite nicely. But I wanted to have the arrow notched and ready to go. And I think it's probably supposed to be in between his fingers. I'm not an archer, but I think it probably is supposed to be in between his fingers. But that's fine. It rests right there just fine. The string can be replaced if it ever loses its elasticity. There's not too much tension pulled on the bow. And it works, in my opinion. Just the way that I want to display him. So this is Jeremy Renner as Marvel's Hawkeye, right there, with his bow and arrow, and his quivers, and his sunglasses. They look like Oakley's sunglasses to me. Maybe somebody can tell me otherwise. And he's pretty good. I mean, there's no question about who he is. When I look at him, I definitely see Jeremy Renner. Somebody told me he's originally from near here where I live. I don't know him or any of his family, but so I guess I can call him a local boy. Not the Hawkeye though. He's not from around here, but the actor. Supposedly he's from around here, I've been told. So there you have it. Marvel Hot Toys Hawkeye from Avengers Age of Ultron on his little case here. See if we can get him to stand up a little straighter. We got these little magnet pieces down here, little speed loaders. So that's how he's going to be displayed. Just like that. I'm going to sit up there on my Age of Ultron shelf. So thank you very much for watching. Tell me what you think about this figure in the comment section below. Subscribe and like my channel, and follow me on Facebook for updates at Siri.Emerald, Twitter at Siri Emerald, and thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Happy collecting!